Okay, welcome back everybody. We're in my wormery and it's feeding time again. Today we're going to be feeding the same 4 bins that we fed last time. It's really 3 bins, and the 4th is a container that's castings only. Okay, so let's get this food out of the bag and get to feeding. Maybe we'll even see some worms. Okay, we'll begin with my newest bin. Whoa, what have we here? This is a very busy spot. Now, if you watched the creation of this bin had a huge number of worms thrown into it to start with. And all this apple, this is what it looks like. I think it's old apple. As this stuff's deteriorating, the worms just seem to be going bananas for it. So this is terrific. A lot of worms right here. Some corn, never-ending corn. I'm gonna see if I can kind of do a little eviction of these guys off to the side. Holy moly. Wow. I feel little bits of what might be considered bedding type material, but I don't think there's very much of that left. I wasn't really prepared for that. I don't have any shredded paper or even leaves in the house for that matter. I would need to go outside to get some leaves or something. Let me see if I can come up with something. Just like to put a little sort of a buffer down before we drop in the food. Not exactly bedding, it's only 1 sheet of paper, but kind of seems right to just try to protect them a little bit from that very, very cold food. Okay. Some of this material that they've squirmed out of already and drop it on top. Piece of corn. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit chilly for some of these guys, but they'll survive. They'll just run away. Let's get the next bin up here. Alright. So this is number one of two bins that are dated September 19th. So like that first bin that we just looked at, that's at day 20. This bin and the next bin we're going to look at, which is the sister bin to this one, are at day 70. Day 70 on this one and the next one, and day 20 at the one that we just fed. I think we're going to see a similar scenario here as we saw in the last bin. A fair amount of food remaining. A whole bunch of worms crawling all over it. Wow. In this bin, I could feel large chunks of corn beneath the surface. You can see I don't skimp on food for these guys. It does take time for the food to break down to the point where they can actually begin eating it. Okay. Yum yum. Oh, you know what? I want to lay down a little something to protect my conscience. But here there's just not as many worms as there were in that other section. And this is where we're going to try out the rice. See how rice does. I think it's going to do quite well. Another piece of corn. Try to level this off to a certain degree and cover it up. Now on to the other September 19th bin. The one that I commented on last time as seeming to be quicker at depleting its food supplies as I think it was this one. So I'll be curious to see what we see here. Yeah. Okay, let's just see if we can pull some of this stuff aside. Corn. They're digging into whatever's in here, but I definitely don't feel large chunks of food like I did in that other bin, in the sister bin, the last one that we just fed. In here, this piece of corn seems like it's large compared to all the other food scraps that remain. It's going to be easier to fit that large frozen chunk of food into here. Don't have big, huge corn cobs to contend with, just little pieces like this. This might have been an apple or half of an apple, I can't remember. A great number of worms. Once again, I'm going to lay in a little bit of paper. Insulation from the cold coming in. Here's the hunk of rice. Good stuff. Okay, this is the fourth of four. We're not even treating this really as an active bin anymore. We're really treating this as like a compost container. But the assumption right now with this compost is that it still has a fair number of unhatched worm eggs, worm cocoons. The feeding zone over here on the right has been set up to try to lure the worms that either are still in the material or have yet to hatch into the material. and to lure them over into this newly established feeding zone. Okay. And I could see that the food is not being consumed as rapidly here as it is in the other bins, which is to be expected, since this was set up as technically castings only. So the worms that did start to appear already are ones that came over as castaways in the castings. That's where all the juices are dripping down to of all this partially eaten apple. It's doing good. Most of it looks like this, just paste. Nice big hole here to drop some food into. Take a departure from marking the food feeding zone, because it's very evident in this container where that is. So what I'm going to do is just use this filter as my conscience protector as I drop this freezing cold food in. Well, that is the end of it for today. So we've fed one fairly new bin, which is about 20 days old. We fed two sister bins, which are now 70 days old. And now this compost here, which is coincidentally the same age as my newest bin, 20 days now. But we're done now. Let's get these babies back up on the shelf and cover them up and let them get back to work. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you back here again soon. Oh, you're still here? Okay, sorry, I was just gonna go get cleaned up. But before I do that, you want to check in on this little top secret mission that I have going on in the next room. It's here. I'll give you a peek. See what we see if we turn the corner here. Open the door. So, yep, this was what we looked at earlier, and not much different. It's pretty much the same setup, so we'll have to get back in here eventually and see how things are progressing. Then we'll reveal what's happening behind the curtain soon. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully we'll see you back here soon. Bye now.